Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT, the most XRT of all the XRTs in the Hyundai lineup. What do I mean by that? Stay tuned to find out. Yes, gearheads, I am in Southern California, Los Olivos, California, where Hyundai has allowed me a first date, a speed date, if you will, with the 2025 Santa Cruz XRT. This is, as I said in the intro, the most XRT of all the XRTs, and I'll get into what that means. But first I want to talk about what is new, what is updated for the 2025 model, especially here on this rugged XRT trim. The front wheels and the tail of this all got updates, while the middle generally stayed the same. They really wanted to accentuate and amplify the ruggedness of this, so we have a more squared off front end. You can see that grille really is boxy and linear. All those DRLs are also boxy and linear, really distinguishing the front of this further from the Tucson, of which it shares a lot of components, really setting this apart as its own model. You can see, unlike the Tucson XRT, we get tow hooks up front, recovery points up front, which is a very nice touch. We get some dark plastic in the grille, we get some dark chrome down low, and we get a generally rough and tumble demeanor up here. Again, that boxier new front end really exemplifies the width of this vehicle. As we pull around to the side, you can see that the side profile didn't really change much, but we do have new wheels and tires. You can see these wheel designs are shared with the Tucson and this wrench design, but they are a more aggressive off-road. They are Continental Terrain contact tires. They are 245/60 or 18-inch rubber wrapped around these new wheels. You can see the pattern is more off-road focused and has a more beefy tread pattern on it. Another thing that differentiates this from the Tucson is the engine, the powertrain under the hood. While Tucson featured the naturally aspirated four-cylinder, this uses the 2.5-liter Turbo 4. I'll go ahead and put those power numbers on the screen. Of course, all XRT models, I really like this blue, all XRT models are using the H-TEX all-wheel drive. As we pan around to the side, as I said earlier, nothing really changed from the side profile of it too much. The wheels are going to be the main telltale sign that you are in a new one. I really do like all these little accents here that just call out the original designs of this pickup truck. A very cool look. As we come around back to the back, further differentiation from the Tucson, because one, we have a bed, two, we have raised lighting. So where the Tucson, I'll go ahead and pan over, has the turn signals located down in the lower bumper, you can see here the lighting elements are all up in the traditional tailgate location, truck location. So no low blinkers or lights in this, because we do also have those corner steps down low to help you get in the back when the tailgate is down, or up for that matter. This also, as an XRT model, gets a revised rear bumper. That center section does not dip down like on non-XRT models, changing the departure angle for the better, and also improving the location of a trailer hitch if so equipped. Looking down further, we do have a fully independent suspension. We'll talk about how it rides here in just a moment. Here you can see very nice side steps here, very rugged rear bumper. You can see a very nice rear cargo area, truck bed, if you will, that does come with this retractable cover. And you've got that leash there to pull it back, but very nice cargo compartment back here for running errands, doing truck things. And then we have an additional storage underneath that is weather tight. It is not as big as the Ridgeline, but neither is this vehicle, but a similar concept as Honda's Ridgeline crossover truck. So I do like that. Just some additional storage hidden down inside. Whew. It is quite dusty back here. And then you can see we've got some additional storage spots down here. We have adjustable tie downs, which are nice. And then if you do want to close the retractable shade, I don't know why I said power, the retractable shade, just like that. And you can very easily lift up the tailgate and give it a close. And we do get that XRT badge there on the side, the 2.5T H-TEX badges right there. So this does get more power than the Tucson XRT. So more power, more aggressive tires. And then we will talk more on the drive portion about some of the features here on the inside, but I will take you on a quick tour because we have a fully updated interior. We get the new updated twin 12.3-inch screens here, full digital gauge cluster here, new operating system here on the touchscreen, so you can see all the new infotainment stuff here moving across all Hyundai models. We do get some storage right up here in an open shelf, still get a good sized glove box here. Updated HVAC and volume and tuning controls with physical knobs. I really like that versus the touch controls. So that is a very welcome improvement. We do also get this camera right here that is watching my eyeballs to make sure I'm paying attention, which is nice. We get updated charging, USB-C. You can see we get some rubberized storage down here. We get a physical control for putting this in gear. I like that. And drive mode switch here, normal, Sport, Smart, and Snow. So really like that. And then all your quick access buttons for all-wheel drive lock, auto hold, electronic parking brake, downhill descent control, and your camera button. We'll talk a lot more about that when we drive. Decent center console here. It looks like somebody left their drink, but overall very nice seats. We get these H-TEX seats with XRT embossed in them. They're heated. They are not ventilated. Headroom's good. All around comfort up here is very good, but that is very similar to the Tucson that we have been driving a lot while on this press trip. Moving to the back, this is a very different back seat than what is in the Tucson. Starting with the doors, you get cup holders here in the doors, something that you don't get on Tucson. You get a different back seat altogether. We do get a 60-40 split back seat. You can see that it starts over here on the driver's side with the 40%. A nice big storage well underneath. This is better than some mid-size body on frame pickups and what they offer. So I really like that underfloor storage, even though in my opinion they got the 60-40 backwards, but that's just me. Very nice seats, decent space back here. So I am on the back of the seat, but again, typically if you're buying a truck, you're buying it for the bed, not necessarily the back seat space, but still this is quite competitive with some mid-size body on frame pickup trucks in the segment. You still get some luxuries back here like air vents and power ports, and if the cup holders and the doors weren't enough, you get two here in the armrest in the back. Headroom is good all the way around. A very good, very nice offering here. A more premium offering in the Santa Cruz XRT than what you get in both Santa Fe and Tucson. Now let's hop behind the wheel and see what it's like out on Hyundai's test course. Hopping inside the Santa Cruz XRT, there are some big distinctions inside here driving it from the Tucson, which it shares a lot of components, including the dash. This is a completely different infotainment setup than what we got in the Tucson here in the Santa Cruz, because we get the full digital gauge cluster, which I could leave or take because Hyundai does do such a good job with their non-digital gauge clusters that I feel like this is a lateral move more than anything. I do like the torque distribution here in the center between the speedometer and the tach, so that is a nice touch, showing off how that H-TEX all-wheel drive is working. And then perhaps my favorite differentiating feature behind the wheel that is instantly noticeable is that you get surround view cameras in this, but you can't be going too fast. I guess beggars can't be choosers here. I'm glad that this is the one XRT model that does offer surround view cameras. The Santa Fe and Tucson both miss that feature for more of a product differentiator or a trim differentiator within their respective lineups. But here, the engineers, designers wanted to give XRT a little bit more of a premium feel. I guess because it is a trucklet, that they figured the off-road version is a more premium customer within the segment. So I do appreciate the 360 cameras. Again, I'm just gonna pick at nits here, the fact that it does time out on you if you're going too fast. So yes, they're here, but don't count on them if you are moving too quickly. They are great for parking or in an off-road environment where if the nose of the vehicle is about to drop off of something, you can at least see a view out of the front there. So that is a nice touch. I can't complain. They brought the cameras here, so I should be happy, correct? This would be a situation where that would be infinitely helpful. And yes, I've got that full frontal view right there in front of me, including a bird's eye. And as long as I take this trail slow and steady, like they say to do, that camera won't go off. But as soon as I get up fast enough, it does appear like it's 10 miles per hour is the cutoff there for those cameras. So they're here, they work. They will help you out when you get in a sticky situation, but don't count on them 100% of the time. It is nice to have them. All additional eyeballs is always welcome, especially in tricky situations like this where we're going downhill. Now, this is a situation where tires come into play, and I can feel these tires doing a little bit of slipping, trying to grab on to the gravel underneath us. We're going down at a fairly steep grade here. I'm just giving constant brake pedal input here to keep us from careening out of control, but a lesser street-only tire could definitely put us in a little bit of a bind here. I could go with a little more rugged off-road tire. I do feel a little bit of slippage as we descend to this hill that is a little less than controlled by me here with the brake pedal in front of me. So very interesting. I don't know if it's the larger size of this versus the Tucson, because I literally just got out the Tucson XRT in that same situation, and this felt like it was slipping just a little bit more. Little things you know from doing a back-to-back run in different vehicles. Otherwise, this does have more power than the Tucson as well. I do like that. Again, more premium options in the Santa Cruz with the XRT. Again, cameras, which again, I'm going to turn those on because this hill just drops off in front of me and gives me a nice view of my turn right in front. Very nice, very easy to maneuver. Really like the 360 cameras. I like the digital gauge cluster, though. It's not a must-have for me like the cameras would be. The obvious single competitor to this vehicle right now in the market is the just updated 2025 Ford Maverick. I have not gotten to spend any time in that one, but I was in a 2023 Tremor, and I really enjoyed my time in that one. I was cut loose with that one. I did have a week-long loan of it, so I had a little bit more freedom to test it at will. This is on a pre-planned course from Hyundai. We've got a lot of journalists and influencers out here doing their thing. So this really is a first date, a speed date of sorts of these vehicles. I very much looking forward to getting my first week-long loan of a Santa Cruz to see what it's like in my off-road testing situations. It's interesting though that the Maverick has such a positive following when this beat the Maverick to market. Here we've got some steep uphill grade on gravel, and so far no loss of traction. I don't feel any of those tires slipping or begging for help. So while the descent we had earlier left those tires slipping and sliding a little bit, constant motion up here in this steep uphill grade no problem for the Santa Cruz. I will say, selfish plug here, I've got a couple of friends that spent 2 years behind the wheel of the Santa Cruz doing the Rebel Rally. So I've got a couple of podcast interviews with Team Brute Squad of the Rebel Rally and Jill Simonillo and Kristen Shaw. Very good friends of mine, and you will definitely want to go check out those podcast interviews if you want to see the learnings that they had of off-road rallying a Santa Cruz for 2 years back to back. They dubbed their vehicle Sandy because of all the fun sand that they got to play in there in the dunes of Glamis. Another good place for cameras. I do also like the placement of the physical controls in this vehicle right here. Very easy. Once you know that they're there, you hit them and you've got access to your cameras, to your four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive lock, which basically makes sure power is always sent to all four wheels. Auto hold, that's more of an on-road feature, and your downhill descent control, though I really like to keep the control of that myself. But I do like physical controls in a vehicle such as this. And I like the fact that we kept a mechanical or physical prindle. We didn't get that electronic gear selector on the stock that we see on higher trims of the Tucson. It's nice just to have a little physicality to your pickup truck, even if it's a trucklet. As far as this vehicle's ride quality on this not pavement, it is a very well buttoned down vehicle. The springs are not too soft. We've got decent sidewall on the tires. I'm not getting a lot of shudder, a lot of jitter, even though we've got a lot of bigger rocks down beneath us. So very good NVH, noise, vibration, harshness in this. It is a very well planted vehicle. Definitely isn't going to rattle your teeth out, not rattling my spine by any means. I've got a decent view out of these small back window back behind me, but it is a pickup truck. And then the side windows are of good size, so I've got good visibility all the way around. And yes, those 360 cameras that I wish other XRT models had. It is such a miss for me, but very interesting here. I did ask Hyundai about that. It was purposefully added to the Santa Cruz XRT to keep this a more premium offering in the pickup truck segment and within the Santa Cruz line. Yeah, generally very impressed with this. This is going to be a soft roader customer. The thing I loved so much about the Tremor Maverick was its tail happiness. I will not get to test that here on this pre-planned loop from Hyundai in the 25 Tucson, at least today. But if you want to see that when it happens, absolutely hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video drops from us. Find us on all social media platforms where you can see some still up close images of this vehicle. We are on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, behind the wheel of the 2025 updated Santa Cruz XRT. Until next time, gearheads. Bye. Morning. Cow.
Oh my God. I think I need a photo.
As he's licking the sign.
I think I need a photo. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. It's a cow.
Oh, get that.
Yeah, right.